Resolution 3 Thank you. Thank you. We don't have any informational items. We'll jump right into department reports.
Okay. So the finance. Is there anything additional you want to add to? Not really.
Any other questions by the board on finance or? I do want to talk about the collection stuff. Maybe you want to wait for the property management report on that? Is that a better place to do that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thanks for your rental assistance.
Anything additional? I don't have anything additional to add, but I do want to know that your comments were received. We are doing our due diligence and making sure that we are engaged with our clients. Could you stand up, please? It's easier to hear you. That's okay. That we are engaged with our third-party contractors to ensure that we are getting on task, staying on task with our development plan of meeting our annual recertification goals by we heard, like I said, we heard and see if you have any questions.
Any questions? I'm going to say again, the plan I feel relatively confident with in our ability to keep above water. I remain concerned about being able to get our head above water. It's a big task. And I don't think we've seen the trajectory pick up enough to get us to that point. So, you said February 24. I'm going to just be patient February 24. But it is a lot of work. And I think this does feel like a situation that an extraordinary intervention may be needed. I mentioned last time about potentially trying to ask for help from NISHA, other organizations. We got to find outside resources to do that, et cetera. But, it's obviously, I know you know this, it's hurting us, it's hurting our residents, it's like killing our reputation.
We're on the front line. So as much as you all know it, we feel it monumentally. And it is not something that we take lightly. It is a continued daily task that we go in every day and try to circumvent everything we can and mitigate as much as we can. It is a daunting, overwhelming task. We are cautiously optimistic that we have plans in place that will get us to that point. We do know that it will take more than the staff can do at this point, which is why the decision was made to do the RFP that closed yesterday. That will be a reviewing process where we see how that falls, determining what that looks like. We have other plans in place. We have looked into what you suggested with your history plan. We have some reviewing some questions out, exploratory things of that nature to see. So we are looking at every aspect and every viable opportunity that may be out there that will provide assistance and support for the department to get us to not where we need to be, but to keep us at that point so that we're not, we get there, but we can remain there. And it's an overwhelming goal for everyone. Again, it's the servicing of our participants and our landlords, and we understand how critical that is.
That's what it is. 90 days from now, and so the RFP that just closed
yesterday.
So when's the selection happen?
So it just closed yesterday at 4 p.m. So the selection and committee will be meeting for the next up until next week. Actually, we do have a cutoff date of 11/21 for. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just saying that's RFP. I would defer to procurement with timelines because like I said, that it just closed yesterday, and I know that there is a review process that they have to go through. And Ms. Last year can probably speak to those. I'm sorry, reviewing all of the proposals, and then we will send those out to our evaluation team for them to be evaluated, and that will be next week.
And I'm just trying to walk down a map that says if we got it closed and there's any ramp up time, bringing the people on, any of that type of stuff, then it sounds like we're down to maybe a little with holidays, 45 days before February to actually do this 2,000 backlog of these things.
So no, the HCD contract would need to step in and mitigate going forward. We have a current contractor in place right now.
And so with the current contractor, I guess the conversation last month was we got like 600-700 a month or something like that. And so kind of dig it down and say, if we have a current contractor for the backlog, how many did they actually do last?
So for the current contractor to meet their goal, they have to do at minimum 450. So the conversation that came from the board meeting last month, and if I understood it, was collected if DHC and Hummingbird did a certain number per month. Could we get ourselves in the clear? And the answer was yes. So for our contractor, their minimum number that they need to hit monthly is 450. They have been short of that number. I can tell you, looking at the numbers this month, they are definitely trending towards meeting those goals, which is my comment I made last month. I see them getting to that number. So as of right now, we're mid-month. They're at 226 completed recertification. By the end of the month, I'm anticipating they will meet that and double that number. So as long as they stay on task and they are meeting their monthly minimum total, we will meet the contract agreement February of 24, which is what they increased the time. Money was not increased, but timeline for work completion was increased. So if they meet, which it looks like they are, and again, we are monitoring, we are meeting weekly. My team, Irene and her team, collectively, we're running reports, we're checking it to ensure that we are staying on task with our goals.
Our internal team is still on staff.
Yes.
So there's a lot of people that you can hear in that department right now. So there's the work that Hunter is doing with our staff, decreasing delinquent recertifications done. There's also, we issued an RFP a couple of months ago, a month or so ago. So we are going through with the project-based voucher award commitments. That's being reviewed by the team now, a selection team, so that we can issue award letters of commitments to developers to include in their December 1 LIHTC applications to MISHA. And then the RFP that just closed, submissions came in yesterday, is for the contract management of the tenant-based voucher program at launch. So all those pieces are dovetailing and moving through the system.
So when we're done with the delinquents, will that actually be truly done, or is that just because we call them delinquent when they were like more than a year or something? Or
14 months, right?
And so will we continue with that kind of increase capacity until we don't have any delinquents at all? It's not 14 months. It's like we're currently doing this. Are there people that meet that standard? Is that something that we're shooting for? Where it's not like, oh, okay, now ours are only 12 months behind.
No. Right.
That's a lack of that.
So the other part of that is that we have to make sure that we are maintaining our standards for our CMAP compliance.
Right.
And so in doing that, we have to make sure that we are staying under a certain percentage of delinquents. So the goal is not just to catch this group up and, if we get a little behind, it's okay. No, we want to get current. And stay current, understanding that the support has to come from, either restructuring the team, rebuilding the team. The RFP that came in yesterday, that is the key to ensuring that we get to a solid, playing field, but that we're able to stay there and continue to increase our goals and meet higher metrics.
And that's included in this current contract, or they'll keep going until we're
take a combination of several different things. So the current contractor that is in place right now was tasked with completing 2,500 annual recertifications.
We're back in HCA.
Yes. And so what that is going to do is, yes, it's going to get our delinquents to a point that, one, we are not in any HUD review. It's going to get our percentage down. It's going to increase our CMAP standing. They are not tasked, though, with going forward and keeping the mill going forward. They were only to execute this window of time so that we can get the most delinquents completed and get our CMAP and our case scoring good. And that's what's happening. Our case score is increasing as the numbers are increasing. So again, as long as we can keep our contractors fully engaged and meet those metrics, I'm confident that we can meet that goal for February 24th. The plan to continue to stay current and meet other metrics will depend on what happens with this outside contract that came in yesterday. And what, depending on the outcome of that, will determine the structure that we have to do within our department to get staffing and to build staff and to keep us current. Because that is the key right there.
So I'm just trying to make sure that I understand. So because when I hear about the delinquent, so I'm kind of think of a mortgage, right? The actual today is the first. You don't pay late fee until the 16th. And so some people say, oh, I'm never late. I've always been on the 13th. And so is that what we're shooting for? Or are we trying to get to the point where we're actually paying on the first? So delinquent is something that's 14 months, is it? Or that's what we call it delinquent? Not when it should have been done before. Well, it's like what's HUD data score, right? Right, the threshold. What's the CMAP score? It's the CMAP score getting hurt for those that are over 14. Yeah. So like what I heard is right now, the house is on fire. You gotta like put it out. Right. So we're trying to get the number under 14 down, and that we think we're trying to strive for to February. Right. However, that doesn't get us current. That just means we're less delinquent. But we've got optionality here that we're evaluating about, okay, once we get under 14, how we get ourselves from 14 to current, and then how do we maintain currency, you know what I'm saying? How do we remain current ongoing? That sounds like a topic for discussion in the January meeting, because I don't want to be decided in February when the contract is expiring. You tell me there's not. No, I agree. What I was worried was that we're calling current less than 13 months. And so that making sure that I'm understanding the terminology to say, okay, are there any impacts? And I would imagine there are to someone being 13 months late on their certification, to their lives, to our business, even though HUD doesn't date. Or is it that it doesn't matter if it's 13 months late on the recertification? I don't know for the thing.
It absolutely matters. While we want to be cognizant of the threshold that HUD has in place, because we want to make sure that we're not getting into trouble with HUD. Right. So that's the number. But internally, no, it's not okay for us to be 12 months delinquent just because it's under that threshold. Right. We want to get back to the standard of performance that would bring us back to where we were when we were high performance. Right. From 16 to 19, we were above average and high performance. Right. And that a huge part of that was making sure that our delinquent activity was at 5% or less. That is our goal. Our goal is not just to, get us to the sweet spot of not being in trouble and now we're okay to post. No, we want to get back to performing as optimally as we can and providing the best service that we can. And so our goal is to not have delinquents, again, 3%, 5 to 3% less is what we're aiming for. No, we don't want to be 12 months delinquent. We don't want to be 11 months. No.
Because it's the knock-on effects. It's not really just like the numbers in our CMAP score. It's the knock-on effects of, I think it's very difficult to tell landlords or to have resident expectations. Like, we want you to work with us. We want you to do your job. We're not doing ours, right? Like, that is, like, just because we stay out of trouble, it limits our ability to be effective. Right? Well, that was my expectation. I just wanted to make sure we weren't using terminology that's call current being only 13 months late. Yeah, I want you to hear Like, I'm glad you're getting into this. I am upset about this, but I'm glad that we are all working together, I think, aligned to get this done. I know that this is, I think I've said to you before, like, this is my first job out of college, was doing income service. Like, I really understand how hard this work is to do, but it's just like, A, it's our bread and butter, and B, like, we have to get our head above water, and I don't want, I'm not saying you personally, I don't want pride to slip in here, right, to say, like, we're going to do this ourselves, right, like, this problem has gotten bigger, obviously it's gotten bigger, that's why we're doing RFPs, that's why we've got contractors, etc. So I don't want you to be afraid to ask for extraordinary help if you're not getting there, like, we just can't continue.
I absolutely agree. And I know this is the first time you guys have probably seen me in person, but no, I am very vocal about what we need for our department. And the number one thing we need is staff. We have to have staff to be able to continue to meet the metrics that we need to meet. And that's it. So again, we have options that we are exploring to bring that growth into the department because, we know we're all short. And we know what we need to do to get to where we need to be. But the building and rebuilding and support and structure that department is what has to happen. So no, I have no problem waving the flag saying we need help. But I think we have some good options that we are exploring that will get us there.
Alright, thanks. We just want to, we're in support of keeping extraordinary to high performer, not just the non-intro.
Right. Yeah, no, we want our high performer stats. We're going. So, like I said, the overall goal is to rebuild that department with staff. So, however that option is what, and we don't know until, Henry comes back and the executive team. But we have plans in place to get us in our department in this avenue, or this avenue. We have a plan. We have things we're looking at. Like I said, you mentioned the mission. That was something that needs to be, but we have exploratory questions on now to see what we can do with that venue. So we are actively looking and engaged all opportunities.
So with the mission exploration, as you always tell me, I think private, and then you have to pull me into HUD. Is that exploration kind of internal right now, and based on worry about any legal ramifications, or have we reached out to Mishta and had those conversations so that my worry about it just being internal is sometimes we don't hear about other solutions, right? So if we call Mishta and they said, we've already done this with the other people, we know exactly regulation, let us in the town. The faster that happens, it seems like the better. Are we still internal, or have we reached out to Mishta?
We're internal, and I think we have made the initial contact and question the mission, and we're waiting on response here.
That's why I would say, please don't take an immediate no for an answer if that's not, like, we don't get a warm response externally. We can help, reach out. It's not a forever today, we're not asking to take over the program, but we have an acute moment that we have to deal with this, right? So, there are friends who want us to be successful. So, if you get a cold shoulder, or at least not a perception that you would like with that idea, there's no doubt, we'll see if we can, maybe but I'm not going to let that die without some exploration. They have staff, or at least they contract with staff, they pay them pretty well, and they should have the greatest capacity, I think, unless you tell me otherwise.
So I do have an anecdote. The city of Detroit is doing work around homeless population, one of those solutions. So they've been having 2-hour meetings with service providers, housing providers, people who have lived the experience, talking about it. And so I was on one last week, and I heard a woman describing her experience with getting our adoption. When she applied, all that she took here, her kids were toddlers. When she finally heard that her toddler was 14, and she went through this whole thing. And the whole time, because we're online, I'm going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then she sort of talked about the problems she was having. And then she said she announced who her voucher was with, administered by. And it wasn't us. So first of all, I gave thanks for that, but it confirmed for me that this is a difficult program to run, and the things that she was announcing were the same things that we were going through, that this other organization is now going through, and I was going, okay, but I figure out our solutions. And so we have plans A, B, and C to do that.
Thanks, Amy. Questions? All right, thanks. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the show. The next report is our monthly real estate management report with Anthony Watson. And for those of you who, I just want to make sure I introduced last time, Bridget Wells is the Deputy Director of Real Estate Management, but she was able to come because normally Thursdays is when she has her maintenance technician. So everybody all come meeting about and saying we're going forward. So she's very hands-on. So I wanted to introduce Bridget and ask if she wants to say a few words to the.
I can say what words. Okay. Hopefully I'll get you. So I've been here about 2 months now. I can be trying to be fair to ourselves and our team. We are seeing progress. The maintenance techs and building ground staff, site staff. There has been some pressure put on them to perform by Mr. Watson. You may not see that reflect possibly in his month's reports, but things like delinquency, things like lease certification, similar issues. I'm at multiple sites every day. So I do see that. I do meet with the site staff one-on-one every week, each of them. They do need support. They do need somebody to ask assistance of, ask questions of. And then, like I said, I meet with the building and grounds every other week. I'm getting them excited about moving forward. And I'm sure Mr. Watson will talk about some of the other things. But we are seeing progress in waitlists. We are seeing progress in being able to get some supplies that we needed in order to move forward. So it's little things right now, but they are totally up to a bigger picture where I can see it. That is happening now, and that is going to be happening. And I see it in a much different picture in 6 months. I can see the site staff want it. The site staff want it. So we are able to give that to them at this point. And when I say site staff, want it. So we just need to foster that within the department. We need to encourage that. And if they don't want to play the game, there's going to be decisions made. But I'm very impressed with the majority of the site staff. Once Mr. Watson started holding them accountable for things, they're seeing progress. And like I said, I tend to be a pretty positive person as it is, so I may be a little wishful thinking on this, but I do not get a ton of the negative feedback that I would have been expecting for an organization in this situation. That is not feedback that I'm getting. So